Wow, he brought up a couple of very provocative, controversial points. But hey guys, Dr. Sil here, junior doctor from Australia on the psychiatry training program. And today I'm going to be reacting to Oliver Anthony Richmond, north of Richmond. This is a video from the States. This guy's, I think he's an ex-factory worker who's recently lost his job. This song has very strong themes around burnout and depression and exhaustion with issues in society. So it's a bit more social than my normal psychiatric analyses. But I thought it would be very important because burnout and depression are very common issues in psychiatry. This video has hit over, let's see, 43 million views in 2 weeks. So it's really hitting a chord with the people. And I think we can also have a bit of a look through the comments because I just was flicking through them and there's some really powerful themes in the comments. So let's have a listen and check it out.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, 'cause your dollar ain't shit and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men.
Whoa. Okay. That's a minute and 4 seconds in and I found it very hard to pause because I just wanted to keep listening to it. I've heard this sung a couple times in like shorts and seeing reactions, and I saw a couple of people kind of react to it, and but I haven't listened to the whole thing, and it's what a beautiful introduction. So a couple of important themes to talk through. Let's talk through them. So I think what Oliver Anthony is speaking to right now is a large group of people, a kind of low socioeconomic, just working, grinding, and not thriving, really just surviving. And it's a painful survival. It's not a kind of a survival with connection and meaning and love. It's a shitty job. It's overworked. It's underpaid. It's overtaxed, and it's a deep sense of not feeling valued. He opens by talking about how he's selling his soul. Working all day, overtime, crappy pay, and I think a lot of people identify with this. But I think when you get stuck in that mud, in that routine of a shitty job, poor pay, no vertical growth, you're not growing, you're not building, you're not developing. That feeling of feeling stuck is really what can lead to burnout and depression. And it's a kind of social depression. This isn't a low mood that's associated with an organic process because of pathological neurobiology in the brain that's resulting in low mood for no kind of external reason, but just because of internal biology. This is a depression of society, of a failure of setting up a society and a structure that lets people, have work, but also have all the other things that really matter. Because work is really just one part of life, and capitalism has really, probably led to people overvaluing work. And this is going into social commentary, and I'm only commenting here as someone with an opinion, as an individual, not as an expert in social sciences or whatever. But what matters in life at the end of the day is not really lots of money and a prestigious career. It's really connection with other people for a large proportion of people. Obviously, there are the exceptions, but really what you want is a job that it's important that people work in their life. Humans need to work, but you want a job that lets you have a life where you connect deeply and authentically with your friends and your family and your loved ones. And really that's how you'll get a fulfilling, full life. But if you're overworking and you're still not getting enough money to survive because you're getting overtaxed by these Northmen north of Richmond, these rich men north of Richmond who really don't understand what the workers are going through, then that's a problem. And this can become very quickly political. But I think this is beyond political. Like obviously, as a government, you have a responsibility to an extent to make sure that your people have work and important work. But that goes beyond left and right and liberal and Democrat. That's just a fundamental, important aspect of a society, that people have work and then also have freedom balanced with that work so that they can connect and have those authentic relationships. And this concept of I wish I could just wake up and this not be true, but it is, oh, it is. Like that's a very powerful line. And that's really connecting to this escapism that we all want. And you can just hear in those words how close, how tempting drug use is. That's where my brain goes. I just think if people are trying to escape the real world, where do they go? They go to drugs. And that's a massive problem. That is very bad for everyone involved. When like in Australia, we have a huge meth problem. Heroin and opioids have been a massive problem in the States, and doctors have been complicit in a lot of the prescribing of these addictive medications. So it's super complex, but you got to understand that when you don't have good work and healthy values in society, people are going to go to drugs and violence and domestic violence. Like there's interesting studies when like a country town in Australia closes their local mine, if it's a mining town, the domestic violence rates shoot up because people need to work, and if they don't work, they get stressed, and if they get stressed, then shit goes down at home, and it's obviously not an excuse, but it's just demonstrating how protective a factor putting people to work is, but balancing that with the important values of life, which is physical health and social health.
I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, 'cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men north of Richmond.
Okay. Whew. Wow, he brought up a couple of very provocative, controversial points, but I guess I just want to open by this sense of, what makes a song beautiful is authenticity, and he's just got this beautiful sense of authenticity. This guy, and I use the term beautiful not in a positive way, but in a kind of artistic way. Like this guy is feeling what he's saying; he believes it. But he brought up some controversial points there. So the first point he makes is that there's people on the street with not enough to eat, and obese people milking welfare, and that if you're morbidly obese, his taxes shouldn't pay for the fudge. Well, there's a couple of issues there. First of all, in the world, there is enough food to feed everyone. The only people who don't have enough to eat are not having enough to eat due to political issues, not due to supply issues. So there is enough food to eat for poor people, and I can only speak to Australia. I don't know what Richmond is like, but I'm sure that there are food vans available for the poor. In Australia, there is lots of food options for people who are poor. So being malnourished in homelessness isn't a major issue in homelessness per se. It could be more complex than that, and there might be barriers for individuals to access the food. And I don't know what those barriers are in particular situations, but in Australia there's enough food for people who need it. And then obese people on welfare and the idea that taxes shouldn't pay for their fudge brown, what are they called? Their fudge rounds. I'm guessing that's some lolly. Oh yeah, it's a tricky one. No one chooses to be obese. If you see someone who's morbidly obese, that's really not a sign of luxury, happiness, and that they're thriving. That's a sign that there's a struggle, and likely a mental health component, because people don't become obese overnight, right? There's a pattern of unhealthy behavior there, and everyone has their reasons for why they're struggling, and usually food's a coping mechanism for some other kind of psychic pain, and so should welfare pay for their food? I think welfare should pay for their treatment, and there's a lot of very effective treatments coming out now for obesity with balloons and Ozempic, the GLP-1 agonists, and metformin and bits and bobs, and most importantly, I'm sorry that I jumped straight to meds, but most importantly is psychotherapy. Why are we eating so much? Problem is psychotherapy is expensive. So, and hard. It's hard work to go through your past and your trauma and work out why you are the way you are and how to change that. So it's a complex thing. And it's funny how when you put complex things into catchy songs, how you can make them sound simple. But it's a bit more complicated than I think Oliver Anthony's giving it credit for. The final thing I want to ask is, does anyone watching this know what this instrument is called? Like, obviously it's a guitar shape, but it's got this banjo kind of metallic tone to it. It's a Gretsch, which is, I think, a very famous brand for musical instruments. But has it got a cool name or something? Because it's got a beautiful sound. Let me know in the comments. Also, if you're enjoying this, like and subscribe. Let's keep going.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
Okay, so it was just a nice closing tune. So, wow, what a powerful song with themes of being undervalued, overworked, burnt out, almost a sense of, it's not jealousy, it's irritability with the fact that money isn't going to where he values it going. And I spoke about how it's a little bit more complicated than just reducing the money to obese people isn't going to make obese people fixed, and it probably requires investment to solve the issue of the obesity epidemic. I might have a quick flick through some of the comments here and see how people are connecting to it. So, well, there you go. Look at this. I'm torn on what's better, the song or reading the comments connecting people from all over the world. Cheers to everyone who feels this song in their heart. So I think that's a beautiful comment around how good YouTube is in general. People connect on YouTube from all around the world, and that's a really cool thing that it does. Yeah, 42 million in 2 weeks. He's hit a chord with this one. Absolutely. 49-year-old guy from Germany, hustling all day and night. All my free days I spend for my second and third job just to be able to pay bills and help make my little daughters have a better life. I hate how much we hate each other and not spend our energy to find out who is really responsible for all this, while them divide and conquer. This guy just nails it. Yeah, this theme that the man, these politicians and billionaires are kind of making the little guy suffer. Swedish steel worker here. This speaks to us all. God bless the honest working class. We're the backbone of the West, and they see us as worthless. Yep. So we've got people in Germany, people in Sweden. This with this working class suffering. I'm from Scotland, worked in construction for 20 years, and I've struggled for a long time on that bullshit pay, worrying that I'm letting my kids down. I just lost my job when I was struggling the most, and I started a job today in a garage on minimum wage. Just got home from work now, and I'm laying in my bed crying watching this. We're here with you, brother. Thank you. Yeah. Easily one of the greatest songs ever written in America. Wow. Yes, yeah, these themes of purity and authenticity, and people from all around the world. We've seen comments from Scotland, from Germany, from Sweden, from lots of other countries. This is really hitting a chord with the people. So, I hope we see change, but change is usually incremental and slow. And I wonder what the solution is. I guess it's probably just to tax less, the poor, and tax more the rich, and we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I have no solution to this. I just have empathy. Well, if you found that video interesting, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. That'll really help the channel grow. Please leave comments to your perspectives if you disagree with me. I'm interested in hearing your point of view and why you disagree with me. And if you have any other content you want me to react to, just leave a comment down below in the comment section. And I'll see you all in the next video. All right, bye for now.